My beautiful friends, I felt really called to come on today, and actually, we're going to look at what's going on around you with love. So, we are going to be looking at love today because there's a lot of lessons to be learned from love situations and the people we call in and the people who trigger us. So, we're going to start with this little black deck, and this reading is meant to bring you clarity about whatever is surrounding you right now with love. So, I'm going to shuffle and then we'll get into it. All right, so let's see what's going on with this collective and what you need to hear. Maybe what you need to, maybe a lesson that's needing to be learned from this connection. We'll see. All right, so let's see. We have camera reminiscing. So let's have a look at what comes out. So main collective in love. Clarity about love. Clarity reading. So let's see the situation you're in right now. We have passion, insane chemistry. So this could be someone you feel insane chemistry with, possibly a magnetic bond with, I'm hearing. All right. Main collective, what is surrounding you right now? We have soulmate, love call. Soul connection, partnership, agreement, soul contract. And we have love call. Someone expresses love, a message of love, thinking of you and letting you know. This is around you right now. So it feels like maybe you've heard from someone. Let's get a few more and then I'll confirm these. Sudden. So yeah, there definitely could have been sudden communication from someone. Sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, transformation, and it came out with stabbed in the back. Heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking attack. So perhaps you've just recently heard from someone that you had a separation with, someone you see as having a soul contract with. And maybe it's triggering something within you. Maybe you got this communication and you're feeling triggered. One more. That communication is your middle row. It's so interesting because that's kind of what I was feeling. So it feels like you've just heard from someone. Those two came out so quick. Okay, so we do have somebody this says date. So whoever this is could be wanting to start again, start over. We have axe, break, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. All right, so we're going to confirm these now. But that's your middle row. So I feel like you have probably heard from this person and maybe you are feeling triggered, right? Maybe you are seeing some sort of pattern repeat. All right, all right, passion, heart with a key. So someone you see as the person who holds the key to your heart, someone you see as the one. Perhaps you've had a hard time detaching from this, right? And again, I'm feeling like you heard from this person, but there's a repetitive pattern happening here. Like history is repeating itself. It's almost like deja vu, right? All right, soulmate, soul connection. Someone you feel a soul connection with. We have healing heart, so someone that you've been trying to heal from, right? And that's what I mean. Perhaps this is part of your soul contract with this person that you were meant to heal out this energy. I also saw the chaser card, so this could have been someone that you were anxiously attached to or chasing or wanting to choose you. Healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction like codependency. So it feels like if that's what's being triggered within this connection, it's part of your soul contract to heal that. And if this person has reached out to you and you're feeling that activation within you of that chasing energy, or feeling like nothing has changed, maybe you're falling back into your old ways of like becoming anxious when they don't message you back, or maybe they're not saying what you want them to be saying. This feels like an important message. Love call in the middle, love call. The palm tree. Stability, security, permanence, growth, flexibility. I want one more for that. One more. Yeah, we have addiction. Codependent, obsession, has a block, restraint. And we have masks. So yeah, there's a pattern repeating here. It feels like somebody that you've been in a pattern with, right, who you had a separation with, has reached out to you and not showing true feelings, hiding, like wearing a mask, so they're not really opening up to you. I think that what you wanted was stability. You were hoping that when they came in, there would be growth and stability, but it's just a pattern repeating. And it definitely feels like it's triggering some of that energy within you of maybe overthinking about it, waiting, like maybe you're waiting, maybe they messaged you and you messaged them back and then they went silent. And just with this mask, right, whoever this is who has reached out to you is still wearing a mask, distorted energy, wounded energy. So it would probably trigger your mask, right? You might be pretending, you might not pretending, but you might be holding back how you really feel. You might be holding back the fact that you were hoping that they were going to come in stable and they're not. But it feels like it's activating that chaser energy within you again. Which means it's not in alignment with you yet. Not yet. I'm seeing that. Not yet. Boundaries. And my nose is running. That's what I mean. It feels like this is a repeated pattern where perhaps this person has reached out to you, but they're still in avoidance. And they're probably triggering that same masking avoidance within you, right? And again, I feel like it's triggering possibly overthinking within you, like same pattern, right? Lightning stabbed in the back. Lightning stabbed in the back. Not today, exactly. So instead of enjoying each other's company, there's still triggers here. Not dealing, hurt, avoiding conversation, boundaries, still angry. Right? And whoever that is, I'm looking at both of you, right? You clearly have a lesson to learn from each other, and it feels like you're both still hurt. You're both still not being open and honest. There's still anger there. There's still resentment on both sides, I'm hearing. So the main thing I'm seeing here is that it's not time, because when it is the right time, when you're both more healed, you would be able to have these conversations without being afraid to have these conversations, or again, when it's the right time, it feels aligned, but it feels like there's some sort of pattern repeating here between the two of you. And it's important to stop the pattern, right? All right. Last row, the X. You're trying to keep a positive mindset. It feels like you're trying to keep a positive mindset about this. You could be like happy that they're back, right? And you don't want to rock the boat. You don't want to say anything that's going to push them away. But that means you can't be your true authentic self, right? Like this positivity, hoping that things get better. I want one more for that. Pattern, stop the pattern. One more. Okay. Hammer, sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistent, working on it. So it feels like, once again, whoever you and this person are, you're trying to make things work, but you're still hitting blocks. There's still blocks here. And again, it doesn't feel like it's the right time. We have the golden mirror. So it could still feel very, like maybe this person came in and maybe there's a repetitive pattern where they showed up saying that they changed, that they wanted stability. You, in your depths, felt like you had changed. But now there's a pattern repeating. It feels like they came in and, you know, maybe said that they wanted more with you. It like made you feel positive. You're trying to keep a positive mindset. But it's still very... It's just the pattern is repeating whatever that pattern is. It's like it's re-triggering this codependent wound within both of you, right? I'm seeing the runner and the chaser. We have the golden mirror, which talks about it being one-sided or somebody being very focused on self, right? And it just, I'm hearing it's not the right time. Like if it feels familiar, it means there's the pattern is repeating. Like you've been here before is what I'm hearing. And we have love, unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, affection, attraction. So something that you're supposed to be learning here, right, is that you need to unconditionally love yourself more than putting up with whatever's happening here. It's clearly triggering unhealed energy in you. It's triggering unhealed energy within them, which means it's not aligned. And we have this unconditional self-love oneness, right? So when you're in this energy of wholeness, and you come into, like this kind of energy comes towards you, it wouldn't be aligned with you anymore if you're truly in wholeness and if they were truly in wholeness. So it's almost like Spirit's saying, separation, you need to stop this pattern because it's a repetitive pattern here, a repetitive cycle. All right. Yeah, you're definitely like talking with this person, but it seems like a lot of the main wounds, the main triggers are still there. And for some of you, you could just be hoping, if I just see how this goes, if I just keep a positive mindset, maybe it'll be okay. But it's like Spirit's saying, this is a repetitive sabotage, rebuilding. And if you are giving your energy, if there's a lot of distorted, unhealed energy here and you're giving your energy towards someone who is triggering these things within you, it means you still need to heal them. And this person still needs to heal. So it's definitely, I'm feeling it's, again, I know it's hard to hear this because you were probably happy to hear from this person. But there's something out of alignment here. Like there's still wounds, right? That not today. All right. I want to see what's going on here. My nose won't stop running. I'm going to look with this deck to see what's going on here because it definitely, I'm seeing the comeback card. It feels like, or maybe even this is a test, right? All right. So what is going on? What is going on here? Yeah, trust issues. So fear of like neither one of you are neither one of you are being vulnerable right now. Interesting. All right. So let's see. Let's see what we need to know about this. Clarity about this situation. There's that trust card. February 11th could be symbolic. Shadow work. That's what I mean. It feels like there still needs to be more shadow work here. Not enough has been done. Facing fears, releasing guilt, healing patterns. There's a repetitive pattern. How do you heal a pattern? You step out of it. Transforming pain into power. Trust issues, fear of betrayal, which means if you have a fear of betrayal towards this person, it means that you haven't healed whatever they've done to you or whatever happened to you in the past. Emotional guard up. Your body is telling you it's not the right time. Your body is protecting itself, avoiding vulnerability, right? So if this person is avoiding vulnerability and you're avoiding vulnerability, how can you heal anything, right? It's meant to heal old wounds here. And if you are vulnerable towards someone and they don't like it, it's a sign that they're not aligned with you, like red flag I'm hearing. We have mixed priorities, unequal effort. This is what I'm talking about. Different values, misaligned intention. Connection feels one-sided. So again, this person could have come in and at first you were seeing a difference, right? They could have been telling you that they changed, that they want to prioritize you, and then all of a sudden the pattern is repeating and you're right back where you were when you were in separation. We have no contact and divine timing. Pause with purpose, so that it feels like this came in divine timing to show you that you're still healing and that you need to focus on self. No contact, no contact. Silence speaks loudly, energy withdrawal, distance for clarity, detaching to heal. So maybe you didn't have enough time in separation, right? Maybe this came in prematurely to show you that you still need to heal. Maybe you were one of those collectives who was just like, I just want to hear from my person. And now that you've heard from them, you see that there's no change. It could be triggering you, right? Making you question everything. Whatever this is, middle row, it's happening in divine timing, and you're meant to be stopping the pattern and choosing no contact, right? Silence. Choosing your peace, and then focusing on shadow work. It's just, again, if you're jumping in, like if you're falling back into those old patterns of like timing, how long it's taking them to respond to you, or you're feeling those feelings of not enough and they're triggering your self-confidence, and you just, like, again, I feel like you were waiting to hear from them and then you heard from them and now you just find yourself kind of, I'm hearing one step forward, two steps back. It was meant to show you that maybe you were focused on the wrong thing, right? You were focused on them coming back. And divine timing, pause with purpose, no contact. Spirit's telling you there's still shadow work that needs to be done here. All right, we'll confirm it all. We have end scene. Stop the pattern. Stop the pattern is what I'm hearing. The comeback. I told you I was seeing it. The comeback. And then Spirit closed the deck. So it feels like, I definitely feel like, look, unexpected message, trying to reconnect, regret resurfaces, curiosity about what's changed. But what has changed? Like maybe you saw a little smidge of change, but from what I'm seeing in that black deck, there's a pattern repeating here. And maybe it's because you started glowing up. We have let them watch, public glow up, quiet confidence, attracting attention. Maybe you were starting to date. energy speaks louder than words, and it feels like you've been focused on a glow up but hoping to hear from them, right? And you've been raising your vibration, you've had this comeback message, but you can see it's the same pattern, right? It's the same pattern repeating. And Spirit wants you to end this cycle. And it's not about blame. It's not about, oh, they haven't healed enough, right? If there's a repeated pattern, it's reflecting back to you that both of you still need to heal. And we have end scene. Peaceful goodbye. Acceptance brings peace, gratitude for what was. But this is about, like, I'm seeing the World card. It's about ending a pattern. I see a card sticking out. What is that? We have big realization, sudden clarity. That's the point of this reading, to bring you clarity. Sudden clarity, hidden truth revealed, perspective shift, mind-body alignment. So what I'm hearing, right, is that you and this person, divine timing, soul contract, there's another point of contact here, which maybe you thought would be union, right? But it's just a repeated pattern to show you what you still need to work on. So what is it triggering within you, right? Again, it's not about they're doing this and they're doing that. If you've called it in, if it's here, middle row, there's a reason. You're meant to learn something from it. And again, the main thing that I'm hearing is it could be triggering within you that chaser energy, or triggering within you wanting to, like, it's distorted feminine energy, repeating a cycle, staying in a cycle, right? That hoping for different results but not getting them, that's distorted feminine energy. I'm feeling called to a different deck. Hang on. All right. Blocked throat chakra. Oh dear. You know what? Let's look at something for a minute, okay? Repetitive pattern. If you want something different, you have to do something different. Repetitive pattern syndrome is the experience of reliving the same struggles, attracting the same energy and relationships, and making the same choices despite wanting a different outcome. This wound convinces you that change is impossible, and that no matter how much you hope for something new, you will always end up back where you started. It manifests as self-sabotage, falling into familiar yet unhealthy dynamics, or feeling powerless to break cycles that seem ingrained in your life. You may ask yourself, why does this keep happening to me? But the truth is, the pattern persists because part of you still unconsciously plays by the same old rules. So it's showing that there's still unhealed energy within this connection. Healing this wound begins with radical self-awareness and intentional action. The cycle only continues when you react the same way, choose the same comfort zones, or ignore the lessons life is trying to teach you. If you want something different, you must be willing to do something different. That means setting boundaries where you never have before. I'm hearing lack of boundary wound. Choosing self-respect over this person, right? And that's how we heal that part of ourselves. It's by the choices we make. Because again, our unhealed wounds, we will keep attracting in the same lessons until we make different choices. And then every time we make a different choice, we heal ourselves a little bit. And walking away from what no longer serves you, even when it feels uncomfortable. The moment you disrupt the pattern, the spell is broken. You are not doomed to repeat the past. You are being invited to rise above it. Phoenix. Right? I feel like this is probably a situation where you've been burned before, and now here it is again. You're probably feeling burned again. And again, it's not about resentment and blame towards them. It's, what part of me do I still need to heal that I've called this back around and nothing has changed? A deeply ingrained cycle of repeating the same emotional, relational, or behavioral problems, often rooted in unresolved trauma, subconscious conditioning, or karmic imprints. This wound manifests as feeling stuck, reliving similar painful experiences, or attracting the same unhealthy dynamics despite efforts to change. And when we grow and evolve and are in that wholeness, we attract in very different energy. We don't attract this in anymore. And when we do, it's not aligned with us. We're like, ooh, no thank you, right? No matter who it is. Energy, look at the energy. And again, this is where people get stuck. They think, oh, they're doing the same thing. It's all them. They haven't changed. Can manifest as chronic stress, digestive issues, exhaustion. Over time, unresolved repetitive patterns can lead to stagnation, loss of confidence. I saw the not enough card. Where was I? Watch for patterns of attracting the same type of relationships, making the same mistakes, or struggling to break habits that no longer serve you. And we have the addiction card, right? So that's what I mean. There's a shadow, there's a wound in you wanting to heal from this. This is why this has come in again. And now I'm grabbing this deck, which means this is this deck is called Messy Situations. Okay, so let's see what's going on here, my friends. What do we need to know? You're in your head. It's put you in your head again. It's put you into overthinking, distorted energy, right? This person could only talk to you when it's convenient for them, like they're not making you a priority, right? And again, what's trying to heal within you? If someone is only showing up when it's good for them, if they're only making you a priority, or they're not wanting to make you a priority, and you're still giving them your energy and you're still trying to keep a positive mindset that maybe they will prioritize me. It's showing you need to prioritize self and choose self, right? When someone's not prioritizing us, it's reflecting back to us that we need to prioritize us. In their head, overthinking, stressed out, spinning scenarios, right? That's, again, wounded energy. It's sent you into overthinking and thinking about them and wondering when they're going to message. Repeated pattern. That's exactly it. I choose me. I just said it. That's what you're meant to be, choosing self right now. And if you have chosen self, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. But this is what Spirit wants you to know. Spirit wants you to choose yourself. Right? Self-love, emotional maturity, clean break. This says growth and boundaries. Right? So you've called this in again. I feel like Spirit wants you to put up a boundary here. And boundaries empower you. Choose yourself. Right? If you're again tuning into readings to see how they're feeling about you, and are they going to change, and are they going to open up, and are they just being guarded because they're scared, right? Spirit wants you to choose you. What they're doing is not your responsibility. What they need to change is not your responsibility. And you can't, as much as we want to help people change, we can't. They need to want to change. So Spirit's saying, be the change you want to see. The pattern is repeating. How do you change it? You stop engaging with it. And if it comes back again like this, you don't engage with it, right? Because I feel like whoever you are, you did engage with it. Probably because you had hope for this connection, right? Soul coming back online. This was meant to, maybe you've gotten stuck because I see that you're working on your glow up, but again, this person came back, temptation returns the test, familiar pattern resurfaces, and it feels like you re-entered the dynamic. Energy return, alignment. And again, this is not about they didn't change enough. We're looking at the energy, right? It's not about blaming them. It's about saying, well, this test, this familiar pattern has returned. I engaged with it. And now I'm feeling triggered and I'm feeling unhappy and I'm overthinking and I feel like they're not prioritizing me. What am I meant to learn here? That more self-work needs to be done. And maybe you have been stuck. Maybe you've plateaued, right? Sometimes we plateau and we think, I'm doing great. And then we're tested and we realize, oh no, wait, there's still more I need to work on, right? This is what Spirit wants you to know. So Spirit's telling you, choose yourself. Take back your energy, right? Stand in your power so that you can come into alignment. Again, sometimes these points of contact, people get, and I get it, people think when that message comes in, it means union. But sometimes it's just, I'm seeing that mirror with the review, reflect, go within. So sometimes these happen in divine timing, right? These little tests to show us, oh, what have I been neglecting in myself? What do I still need to work on? Yeah, only when convenient. I'm seeing something. I'm seeing there's a difference between someone who talks to you when they have time and someone who makes time to talk to you. Big difference. Big difference. We have confused as hell. No clarity. Clarity reading. No labels. Emotional chaos. So this person returned, right? But it's like almost, not yet, maybe, friends. It's complicated. So it's still confusing. There's still no clear direction. This person doesn't know what they want. And again, if you are, truth hurts, reality check, wake up call, clarity. So Spirit wants you to see this clearly. It's not about they haven't changed enough. It's that there's a pattern that's repeating where it triggers, it causes you to fall back into what we talked about. And Spirit's really saying this, Spirit wants you to choose yourself, right? This came in divine timing to show you to choose self and to focus on self and to illuminate the things that you still need to work on. Because again, when you truly are in wholeness, unconditional love for self, healthy boundaries, right? Anybody inconsistent or anybody that is in wounded energy, you wouldn't be aligning with. And I don't mean they wouldn't come towards you. I mean, they would come towards you and you'd see, no, that's not aligned with me anymore, right? Higher alignment. You always come back. So they've come back again because there's a pattern that needs to close out here. And it starts with you. Change. Be the change you want to see. You can't change this person, but you can change you. If that makes sense. I'm just going to get 2 more from this deck. Oh, overanalyzing, right? And then Spirit closed the deck. Spirit knows what's up. Spirit knows what's up. What if you regret overanalyzing, imagining like, well, what if I I can feel it. You're like, you don't know if you should pull back your energy. You don't know if you just give it time, if it's going to improve, if the stability is going to improve. It's like if you are in this what if overanalyzing, right? Feeling that anxiousness, your soul is telling you, your body is telling you it's not in alignment. But our fear, our wounding, causes us to stay or hang on or wait, right? When you start, what if I don't talk to them and I never hear from them again? What if I pull back now and then what if it had gotten better? It's like the catastrophizing and the overthinking, right? That's wounded energy. When it's in alignment, it would feel in alignment. You wouldn't be afraid to be vulnerable. This person would be being vulnerable with you. There wouldn't be that emotional guard up. So, done explaining. No more justifying. Silent exit. You don't need to explain anymore. You don't need, like, maybe you see what the pattern is and you've tried to tell this person, and this is the pattern. You can't make anybody else see. You can't change anybody else's perspective. Right? They need their own wake-up call. They need their own realization. They need their own clarity. And Spirit says it doesn't matter how many letters you write, how many times you explain it. You don't have to justify it anymore. It's not aligned with you right now. And again, I feel like for some of you, this has just stirred up a lot of things that you still need to work on, and there's nothing to be ashamed of about that, right? This is happening in divine timing. Again, Mercury in retrograde, right? Things come up for review, things from the past. And it's not that Spirit's trying to hurt you or anything like that. Spirit's trying to show you, you and this person are still not aligned. And that makes me feel like maybe Spirit is saying your focus has been too much on when will they reach out, when will they return? Because now they have, and there's a repetitive cycle here, right? So I'm going to see what your soul wants you to know about this return. But again, see it as energy. Don't see it as the face. Don't go into like blame and, oh, they haven't changed enough. See it as energy. See it as a reflection. What is it reflecting back to me that I still need to work on? Oh, I'm putting up with mixed signals. I'm accepting and engaging with someone who doesn't prioritize me and it makes me feel bad. What is this reflecting back about to me? That I don't value myself enough. That I need to choose myself. I'm wanting someone else to choose me. That's your soul saying, choose me, right? All right, I want to see what your soul is saying. Suspicious, right? So you have the suspicious energy, a wall up. That's your soul saying it's not the right time. It's not in alignment with you. And if it's meant to be, like your soul is saying, if it's meant to be trust, it'll come back around. Trust right now that you're being divinely guided. If you feel suspicious, if you feel a lack of trust, if you feel like you can't open up, right? There's a reason. And it's meant to bring you forward, movement, healing, and next step. Like that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing somebody who plateaued. And then this communication has come in to kind of show you what you still need to work on. Because we also need relationships in our lives to integrate these lessons. We can say, I'm not a chaser anymore and be totally in hibernation and isolation, right? Hermit energy. We can think we've learned the lesson. We can think we're going to do it differently next time. And then Spirit presents us with a test. And it shows us what we still need to work on, right? Nothing to be ashamed about. It's kind of like a review. Anyway, I'm just going to shuffle these once. I also think I might do an oracle reading after this. We'll see how my energy is after this reading. You could be an empath, either today or tomorrow. I picked this, I felt very called to elemental empath. So, empaths, they'll continue to call in situations, wounded empath will continue to call in situations where they are burned. Well, that seems symbolic. Where they are burned over and over and over again until they phoenix into the empowered empath. And an empowered empath does not lack empathy, but an empowered empath does not allow themselves to get burned, right? An empowered empath loves themselves, can help others, but when they see somebody who doesn't want that help, they protect their energy, right? This feels very symbolic. Choice. It says how you respond. Again, I've had situations where I'm like, I'm healing, I'll never make that mistake again. And then I hear from that person and it's like I just fall back into my old ways. It's just a reflection that I needed more work, right? Is there a table of contents? Let me look. There's a reason I pulled out this card. It's about a choice. Choose yourself. I choose myself is what I'm hearing. And my nose keeps running, right? So I said it the other day, or I said it a couple weeks ago, by chasing a runner, stupid labels, we're actually running from ourselves and the lessons we need to learn. Choice 174. Oh dear, I might need my glasses. What we choose. I'm gonna put on my glasses. New perspective, seeing things clearly, although I don't like to wear my glasses when I'm channeling, but when I'm reading. The choices we make largely determine what type of life we live and the overall direction we go. What we choose has consequences, and we must live with those outcomes. We need to find a balance between these two truths. The choices we make both matter a great deal and not at all. They matter in that they set us on certain paths. They also don't matter in that we can't possibly know all of the outcomes or what the future will hold. And you are thinking about all the possible outcomes, right? So that's reflecting back that there's something that you don't trust in yourself to make this decision. Indecision, wounded masculine energy, I think. Right? So it's not about, oh, they haven't changed and they're just here to hurt me again and I can't believe this is happening again. It's actually meant, I am grateful for deep conversations, which clearly you're not having with this person. But it's meant to show you, oh, here's what I still need to work on. I thought I had healed this. It's bubbling up. I'm still not choosing self. I'm back in this pattern. What do I need to work on, right? So fretting over little decision doesn't help us. The key to making choices is to make them from a centered place, right? Not an overthinking, fearful place. Are you someone who chooses based on emotions, logic, or intuitive signs? If your usual method is failing you, it might be time to meditate and find a place of stillness or ask for outside help to find clarity. That's hilarious because that's what I was hearing. Clarity reading. In the end, it must feel right for you. Exactly. I can't tell you what to do. I'm just here for advice. Trust your emotions. You might be weighing the pros and cons. Once you've made the right choice, your intuition might confirm it as the right one or wrong one. If your thoughts are a mess, right? Try leaning into your emotions and see what the heart wants. If the mind and heart are unsure, what does your intuition say? Is there a sense of knowing about which way you intuitively need to go? You may also consult someone. If all of these are unclear, then it's okay to close your eyes and randomly make a choice and see how it unfolds. Overthinking. This card also cautions you against getting lost in your head and overthinking signs from the universe. Meditate and find a centered, grounded place from which to make the decision. Overthinking doesn't help. Remember that there aren't wrong choices. Exactly. They are merely the outcomes and consequences of these choices. The choices we make lead us on paths that teach us about ourselves. Exactly. You are allowed to make mistakes. Mistakes are lessons or growth opportunities, whatever. You never know where they might lead you. Lastly, this card addresses on the concept of choosing how you feel. So look at it logically. Do you feel loved? Do you feel supported? Do you feel like you can be vulnerable? Do you feel safe? Do you feel happy? Then it's not aligned with you. That's your soul telling you it's not aligned with you. When we are upset or triggered, we cannot choose for that emotion to vanish. Exactly. We need to feel through it until it shifts something else. But that emotion is there for a reason. Exactly. Work with your emotions and encourage them to be felt or to calm down and to be dealt with another time. Your emotions are valid. Don't shame yourself for not being able to simply choose. Right? Anyway, and your overthinking mind, potential block your overthinking mind. If it's aligned with you, if it's the right time, you wouldn't have to overthink it. And remember, whatever choice you make is going to lead you to the same outcome eventually. What is meant for you will not pass you by. Interesting. All right. And just moving forward, I get so many beautiful comments. But for anyone who's telling me that I've changed since coming into contact with Bree, I have. And it's because we're both in wholeness energy, and it's not about me. I felt like I had reached a plateau on my journey, and she triggered something within me. And the new ways that we're reading, we are working together as a team. We are collaborating. We have a mission together. And I did see, it was hard. I saw a few people that I've always seen as part of my soul tribe making very judgmental comments about my friendship with Bree. And I've removed you because why are you passing judgment on me? What do you need to reflect on? Right? If me supporting another tarot reader is confusing to you or triggering you, why? Why is that triggering you? Do you not have someone that supports you? Right? If my friendship with her, my girl crush, is triggering you, that shows something within you, envy, jealousy. And that's, again, when we make comments like that to people or when we project outwards, it's actually your wound that wants to be looked at, right? And I think it's sad. And I think I'm speaking my truth. I think it's beautiful how many of you are saying that you love us as a duo, that we are aligned on a soul level. I can't explain it. And until you understand what that is, you shouldn't be judging it. And again, if it judges you and you feel the need to make comments about it, you need to go, Phoenix energy, you need to go in and reflect. Why is it triggering you so much? Is it because you don't have that in your life? And I actually saw a beautiful thing last night about, if you want love in your life, it starts with friendship. Because if you don't have a foundation, it starts with self-love, right? We always talk about that. But friendship is a part of it. Because if you have nothing in your life, and then you have a partnership, and your partner has friends or has hobbies, and you don't have any, it's going to cause friction in your relationship, right? There's a reason that used to trigger me within connections when someone had a life, when someone had friends to go out and hang out with, because I was left feeling very alone, and I would mistake it, right, as it was just jealousy for me, but I would mistake it as it was something wrong with the other person. And again, if you want healthy romantic love in your life, you need to have a healthy friendship in your life, because you need someone that you can open up to, right? That you can go to when you're feeling sad. You need somebody who understands you on that level. Otherwise, you put all of that on your partner. Anyway, it makes me sad that it triggers people. And also, we talk about transmuting energy. I didn't align with Brie for no reason. I believe we're also supposed to teach people about friendship and about soul. And as well, we shouldn't be wanting to silence anyone. If I'm talking about something that bothers you, or you don't want to hear about it, or it's taking away from the reading, then I'm not the reader for you. I'm not just a robot who reads cards. I'm a human being. I'm a soul. And whatever I go through in life, I try and transmute it so that I can help others. And that's all it is. So again, if you're making that, if the people who make those kind of comments, what kind of comments do you make to this person that are just your own insecurity and projection? Anyway, and let me be clear, that's not all. I want to say, like 90% of you, the comments, beautiful, I love you all so much. But we've got to stop projecting our insecurities outward. It's really unhealthy. Anyway, we have vibration. Raise your vibration so it feels like maybe you've plateaued, right? And what you thought was a tragedy is actually a blessing in disguise, right? This person came back in, repeated lesson, repeated pattern, but it's actually meant to help you break through a layer so that next time when they come in, or even right now, choose silence, but the next time they come in, if your body goes into chaos and overthinking, oh, I shouldn't respond, it's not the right time. Anyway, I just needed to say that because, again, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. If someone else's happiness is triggering you, that's about you, not them. Anyway, I'm going to speak my truth, right? It's my video. I can say whatever the hell I want. Anyway, it's just... Anyway, it's weird. It's weird. So, what does your soul want you to know about this? What does your soul want you to know about this situation? What does your soul want you to do? Like your higher self. Thoughtful. Your soul wants thoughtful, attentive energy. Reciprocal energy. Is that what you're getting? Right? Kind, considerate, attentive. That's not what I was seeing in those decks. I was seeing quite the opposite. So deep down, that's what your soul is wanting. But that's not what's coming through, right? In the energy that we're channeling. It's not thoughtful and considerate. History, past connection, person from the past, unfinished business, right? I'm hearing orbiting. This person orbits around your energy. Why? You could have asked yourself, why? Why did this person come back just to show me the same thing? It's because it's trying to heal something within you. This person from your past, this is interesting. This person from your past has reappeared because inside you want thoughtful, attentive communication. You want equal give and take. And you could be someone who overgives and overextends yourself and maybe is a people pleaser. I'm hearing wounded empath. I brought it up for a reason. Rose-colored glasses. Your soul wants you to take off the rose-colored glasses, right? To see this clearly. So clearly you're still, and I'm not saying this to shame you, divine feminine on the bottom. If you've got rose-colored glasses on, if you're repeating this pattern, if this person is not being thoughtful to you, right? You could have thought you were in divine energy. You could have been one of those people. I'm a divine feminine. But then this person reappears, and now all of this is happening again, showing you that you're not yet in divine feminine energy, right? Your soul wants you to take the rose-colored glasses off. See it clearly. See it as energy. Take the face away. Who cares who it is? Is this energy serving you? Is it making you happy? Is it making you fulfilled? Can you be vulnerable? Does this person prioritize you? Does this person make time for you? It's not about whenever they have time. Do they make time for you? Because that's, again, we're not seeing that in what is actually going on here, but that's what your soul is saying. It's time to take off these rose-colored glasses, right? And see the energy. It's not aligned with you right now for a reason. Which means part of you still accepts less than you deserve, right? We have hazel eyes, hazel bright eyes, green, brown tones. And then we have divine feminine on the bottom, magnetic attraction, right? So you could very well feel like you're on the journey. And now, again, we go through points of contact that are meant to remind us, oh, we're still working on this and it's not the right time, right? Because we have divine feminine energy. Your soul is saying, like, it wants you to heal that energy. And like I said, you could have felt like you were in that energy, but until we put what we've learned into practice in relationships, right? It's hard to know if we've truly healed it, because we need to integrate those lessons. And that's, instead of looking at it as I'm still broken and they're still fucked and whatever, look at it as, oh, I still need to learn a lesson from this. Why is it orbited back around? Because I still need to learn a lesson from it. What's the lesson? Right? Reflect. Why am I holding on to it when it's still not aligned? One more. What does your soul want you to know about this situation? Self-deception, lying to self, right? You're deceiving yourself is what Spirit's saying. Lying to self, assuming the worst, right? And that's wounded energy, distorted energy. It's feeling like if you put up a boundary, right? What if they never come back? Well, if they don't ever come back, you learn the lesson and it wasn't meant to be, right? But Spirit's saying there's something you're not seeing here. You've got rose-colored glasses on when it comes to this person. So clearly this person is the one that was meant to help you trigger these wounds that needed to heal, right? And remember, see it as a mirror. If you feel like this person is in Seven of Swords energy, right? It's reflecting back to you that there's something you're not seeing. That there's something that you're in self-deception about, if that makes sense. All right, thoughtful. What does your soul want you to know? If it's not thoughtful and attentive, Spirit wants you to make different choices. You are probably someone complicated. You probably are someone who's an overgiver, a people pleaser, right? Spirit wants you to make a choice. If it's not kind, considerate, attentive, Spirit wants you to choose self. I'm going to get one more for that one. What does your soul want you to know? Yeah, we have reconcile, divine masculine, and then player on the bottom. Right? So clearly someone again, I feel like you saw yourself as the divine feminine. You probably said, I'm in divine feminine energy, and then the comeback happened, a test. And now you find yourself kind of taking a few steps backwards, and Spirit's saying when it's the right time, you'll know it. You'll both be in divine energy. Spirit wants you to focus on masculine energy right now, right? I feel like, again, something that we're seeing now is that we've been so focused on telling you to be that divine feminine, but you actually need to embody the divine masculine energy yourself in order to fully be that divine feminine. And that's why for so long we look for it outside of ourselves. We look for it in another person to come in and be that divine masculine. Right? We have this masculine energy here. So Spirit wants you to start giving yourself that energy, right? Protecting yourself, being your own provider, protector. So if somebody wasn't giving you enough energy or there was a repeated pattern, you would have that strength, that assertiveness to make the decision, right? Remember, wounded masculine energy, unable to make a decision. So Spirit's saying this person is not, I think that you were hoping for a reconciliation. Spirit's saying this came in to show you, to trigger within you Phoenix energy. You're getting burned again, right? It came in to show you that you need to reconcile your feminine and masculine energy within. All right, past history, past person. Past history, past person. We have fantasy. So again, maybe you've put a label on this person, or maybe you've kind of put them up on a pedestal, or maybe you have a feeling that nobody else will ever make you feel the way they did. It's like scratch and itch. Oh dear. And we have likes own company, quiet, shy. Let me get another one. Past connection. Hidden, unseen things. There's unseen things going on here, right? I feel like right now Spirit wants you to focus on your own energy, on your own creativeness, inspiration, artistic, visionary, original. So maybe you haven't, well, I'll see what comes out. We have complicated, very complicated situation, illusions, complex. There's a lot more going on here beneath the surface than you can see. And that's why you're being called to pull back your energy. They could make you laugh. I'm seeing the hyena card now, right? This could be someone, or you could hide your vulnerability or make jokes or even passive aggressive jokes instead of just saying how you feel, right? Very complicated situation. Rose-colored glasses. What does your soul want you to know? Codependency, I'm telling you, that's what I was, boundaries, middle row, your soul wants you to look at this logically. Logically, it's still triggering codependency within you. There needs to be boundaries here. You probably have a lack of boundaries wound that's being activated, or a codependent wound that's being activated. And again, you could have been introverted. You could have been now I get it. You could have pulled back your energy, right? You could have been working on self, being creative, working on art, right? Creativity. But now this comeback has happened and it's triggered still some codependency that needs to be healed. Healthy, clear, communicating needs, right? If you can't be healthy and clear and communicate your needs with someone, or communicate with someone without them going quiet or reacting, boundary is needed. Boundary is needed. Right? And it's not about blaming you. It's not about blaming them. Your soul is telling you, you still have, this person has come back in middle row and triggered what you haven't healed yet with your codependency. And like maybe you haven't been around other people recently. Magnetic attraction, right? You could think that you're magnetized towards this person, but it feels like codependency. Like both of you have codependency that you need to heal. So let's read the codependency. Spirit wants you to look at it logically. Not angry, not resentful, not... I opened right up to it. Not... See it as energy, right? Codependent wound. So when you have a codependent wound, right, you'll attract in someone with a codependent wound, and you'll trigger each other's codependent wounds. And it's not, you don't approach it in the same way, right? It's not like you both codependently get attached to each other. That's not how it works. One of you will become like codependent attachment, right? The other one avoid. A deeply ingrained pattern of self-worth being tied to meeting the needs of others, often at the cost of personal identity and well-being. This wound manifests as an inability to set boundaries, a fear of abandonment, or an instinctive need to fix or rescue others to be valued. There may be a compulsion to anticipate and manage the emotions of those around you, prioritizing their happiness over your own. Over time, this dynamic can lead to exhaustion, resentment, and a loss of personal desires, as one's sense of self dissolves into the roles of caregiver, peacekeeper, or emotional buffer. Relationships may feel imbalanced, with a tendency to attract those who take more than they give or require constant validation. This wound can show up as digestive distress, chronic fatigue, or tension in the throat and chest from suppressing personal needs. Watch for patterns of people-pleasing, over-apologizing, or struggling to say no. Suppressing the codependent wound by swinging to the opposite extreme. Probably your person. Rejecting connection, becoming hyper-independent, or shutting down emotionally to avoid being needed by others. Instead of addressing their fear of being unworthy outside of service, it is buried beneath a persona of detachment, aloofness, or complete self-sufficiency. This can manifest as pushing people away, refusing help when necessary, or developing an aversion to deep emotional intimacy. Some may overcompensate by maintaining rigid boundaries to avoid any possibility of enmeshment, mistaking isolation for self-protection. Others may seek relationships that feel emotionally safe by remaining distant or keeping interactions surface level. So is this person being surface level with you right now? Watch for patterns around fear of vulnerability, resisting healthy interdependence, or struggling to receive love without feeling an obligation to give something in return. Beneath the armor of independence is still the same wound, waiting to be healed through balance, self-worth, and mutual connection, right? So it's not they're this, they're that, they're a monster. It's, oh, we both have these wounds that energetically we're drawn to each other to heal these wounds. That's how you should be looking at it. Healing codependency, I'm going to read it to you, does not mean you stop caring. It means you learn to care without losing yourself. It means recognizing that love is not something you have to earn by overextending, that you are not responsible for saving others at the expense of your own well-being. Love is not meant to deplete you. It is meant to nourish both giver and receiver. The moment you choose yourself, and that's your advice here, to choose self. The moment you stop begging for the bare minimum, the moment you realize you are worthy of love that does not require suffering, you step into freedom. And in that freedom, real love finally has a space to exist. So a lot of it, like I said, is knowing the wound, being self-aware of the wound, and then making different choices to break the patterns. And then you stop calling that energy in. So again, when we get the comeback and there's been no change, it's meant to reflect back to us what we still need to work on. Hazel eyes. Remember, this is what your soul wants you to know. Hazel eyes. I'm hearing hungry eyes. Hidden. change. That's what you can't see, that this is a cycle that's meant to transform you. And if you truly are one, it'll transform them. So again, this is meant to cause a transformation, an awakening. So you've probably have plateaued. It's meant to realign you, right? Like I said, you've probably plateaued in some way. And by ending the cycle, it says cycle, change, transformation. By ending the cycle and choosing self, you're going to raise your vibration higher. You're going to break through another layer. And again, if you are staying in a situation out of fear, that means it's not aligned with you. If you're holding on because of fear of what will happen, fear if you never see them again, that's attachment, right? Self-deception, lying to self. Yeah, you need to take a break from this, is what your soul is saying. Past life, soul tie. We have tattoos, body art artist, self-expression, right? So it could be teaching you an important lesson about self-expression. And if you have a fear of self-expression because you're afraid somebody will walk away or push you away, right? Codependent, fear of vulnerability. And then you call in someone with a codependent wound where you speak vulnerably and they push you away, right? That's what it's trying to heal here. And again, if you have to filter your words, if you speak self-expression to them and they push you away or they don't want to talk to you anymore, it means they're not aligned with you. Past life, soul tie, you've met each other before. There's a karmic lesson here that needs to be learned from this connection. And I'm not saying they're a karmic. I did see divine feminine, divine masculine, but no, I saw masculine feminine. There are karmic lessons within those connections. So clearly there's a karmic lesson here that you need to learn. We have siblings, so this could be something that you go through with siblings as well. This could be a pattern that you have with a sibling, or perhaps you're, like this says children, so maybe as a child, right, you had a fear of self-expression. Maybe you got punished when you expressed yourself. Maybe you kept yourself very small as a child, right? Runner. What did I say? If you're going to self-express yourself and this person is going to run, triggered, running away, fears, let them. Right? If you feel like you're connected to someone who's in runner energy and you have a fear of expressing your truth, what are you running from? You're running from your own truth. This person is still in running energy is what I'm hearing. So what are you running from? Reflection. Spirit wants you to take a break from this. No, your soul does. Your soul does. Your soul does. I just want to get some of these pink cards for advice for you. Maybe how Spirit is seeing it, right? Or what Spirit wants you to know about this. So clearly does this person only want like sexy time with you? I want two more. Oh, okay. What does Spirit want you to know? Before I talk about these cards, I'm just feeling called to pull 3 more. I want to see, this is what Spirit wants you to know, but I want to see Spirit's current perspective of this. Spirit's current perspective of this. And we had doggy bag, plan B, right? Okay. So here's what Spirit's perspective is of this. This is what Spirit wants you to know. So we're going to come back to this in a minute. Temptation, seduction. That's why I said, does this person like want to prioritize sexy time with you, but not anything else? We have resisting temptation, tempting offer, test. You're being tested. You're being tempted, right? We have take the cake. You deserve the reward. Have it your way, not settling for less. And then we have overindulgence, addictions, shadow work, codependent, unhealthy choices, right? So again, the main message I'm getting is you could feel, right? Like, I'm not going to settle for less and I'm healing and I've changed. And then you get a tempting offer and it's triggering what you still need to work on, right? Because we do have addictions, shadow work, codependency, and we have heavyweight. A lot of baggage, extra burden, major challenges, stress and responsibility, right? So it doesn't feel like it's in alignment right now. Right? You're not supposed to settle for this. It's a test. When it's the right time, what does Spirit want you to know about this? Right? You deserve somebody who will make plans with you, not just for sexy time, right? We have the ladybug here. So when it's the right time, right, it'll bring happiness to your life. It'll add vibrancy to your life. This person will want to have opportunities with you. They'll be putting in the effort. Perfect pair, very compatible, harmonious relationship, unconditional love, doing everything together. I feel like that's what you want, right? And Spirit's saying right now, that's not what's happening within this connection. We have arrows of love, being swept off your feet, moving forward quickly, love interest rushing in, right? And that's what you deserve. You deserve someone who's going to show up for you and choose you and make space for you, and someone you can be vulnerable with. But right now it feels like this was a test, and I feel like that's what you wanted, right? But this is what came in, according to all the other decks I've gotten. This is what came in, and I think that you bit that apple. And again, there's no shame in that, but it's meant to be teaching you something. Actually, I'm seeing, what movie is it where she bites the apple and she goes to sleep? Is that Sleeping Beauty? No, she pricks her finger. Is it Snow White? I never thought Snow White was as a child, I would watch Snow White and I would watch her like step over the tiny stream. I think it's Snow White that I'm thinking of, and like she needed help. And I was like, what kind of strong princess is she? Anyway, doesn't she eat the apple and then she goes to sleep? That's what this feels like. Like, I'm hearing there was a test. You bit the apple and now it's time for you to go back in and reflect where do you still need to work on shadows? Is your codependency being triggered? It is, if this is your reading. Right? There's part of you that's still making unhealthy choices, even choosing to still be in this dynamic. Spirit doesn't want you to settle for less. Spirit wants you to focus on you. You're the prize. You're the cake. You deserve the reward. You deserve everything you want, right? Yeah, that fell right over sexy lover. All right. So what do you need to know from spirit about what you should be focused on right now? What is this soul contract? Remember, soul contract, you had that card. So what are you meant to be focusing on within your soul contract right now? Or what is being illuminated within the soul contract? You got the soul contract. What is being illuminated? Interesting. We have double rainbow on the bottom. Ascension. New cycle. New cycle. You're meant to be ending this cycle. We have principle, religion, dogma, family values. What are your values? Right? This could be triggering your belief system. Programming, right? What's been programmed into you, those wounds is what I'm hearing. Sorry, my shirt was bugging me. I don't know why I'm sorry. Agreement, pact, cycle, trust, alliance, commit, contracts, partnership, circular cycle is what I'm hearing. It's meant to break you out of this programming, right? Out of those wounds that have been programmed into us since childhood. We have new beginnings, fresh set goals and intentions, coming alive, growth, a surprise, increasing excitement, rejuvenate, fertile, new cycle, right? So when it is time to take inspired action towards this, when it is time when it is the right time, you will feel it. You will feel growth. You will feel excitement. You will feel rejuvenation. You'll feel this is the right time, or this connection, even if it's not this person, is in alignment with me. Divine intervention to help you ascend further is what I'm hearing. Divine intervention isn't always just rainbows, right? Divine intervention can be towers. What do you need to focus on? Loving yourself more is what I'm hearing. You, feminine energy. Transformation of your feminine energy. Death, right? So right now, there's negative emotional patterns repeating. Death in reverse. That maybe you thought you had transformed, but are still there. And again, that's all this is. It's not that there are this and there are that. It's, oh, this is what I still need to work on. Spirit is showing me what I still need to work on to truly ascend into feminine energy. What else do you need to truly ascend into feminine energy? You need to balance your masculine energy, which involves making decisions and knowing your worth and releasing fixer patterns. Feminine energy. I am a positive influence on the world. You could also be meant to align with another feminine on this journey, not talking about gender. What's being highlighted? Illness, fatigue, stress, deteriorate, reduction, filth, decay, irritation, worry, fear, anxiety, waste, nagging. Right? If you feel that, it's definitely not in alignment with you. And maybe you are someone who will hold on to connections even when they bring you anxiety and fear and make you not feel good and they stress you out, right? I'm seeing something else that I was listening to about how it does matter who you surround yourself with. Because if you surround yourself with this, you're not going to be able to ascend. Like, do you see where I put that? It feels like this is how it's feeling. But this card should be really how it feels when it's the right time or when something is in alignment with you. And I feel like right now Spirit wants you to focus on new beginnings for you, fresh set goals and intentions, growth, increasing awareness, healing this programming, right? New cycle. In order to get the World card, you have to end this cycle, right? End of a cycle, beginning of a new one. We have the Star, so Spirit really wants you to like heal. There's more healing that needs to happen here. And again, when we're in wounded energy, when we're in our shadows, unconsciously, we point outwards and blame. Yeah, things are stuck. Exactly. Spirit wants you to look at this practically right now, right? You could be dependable on this energy somehow, like energetically, remember, codependent. But right now, things are stuck here. And part of it has to do with your wounding, right? We're not looking at this person, we're looking at them. No, we're not looking at them, we're looking at you. So there's something stuck with you. Wheel of Fortune, stuck? What needs to change, right? What wounds, wherever that book went, what wounds do you still need to focus on? I'm going to look at what's blocking you. And we have the Lily, established, ambition, experience, sexuality, achievement, longevity, mature, career, development, right? So things are stuck right now. You need to mature more. If it's meant to be, this person will mature more. Just focus on self. Maybe you're being called to focus on your career, your mission, right? I see so many people get stuck thinking, I'm a divine feminine, but they haven't started their mission. And then they'll get a test like this and question their journey, right? So Spirit wants you to focus on part of your soul contract, your career, you maturing, right? You being established in your energy, developed. Okay, Spirit closed the deck, so I'm going to do tarot to confirm. I never even noticed it. On the bottom, we have empath and narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used, enable boundaries. So you could be that empath that needs to stop enabling that bad behavior, right? We teach people how to treat us by what we're willing to accept from them. And if something's bothering us and we don't say it and we just keep putting up with it, we become resentful. Or when we don't speak our authentic truth, it can build up and become resentment within us, right? I'm going to get this deck with the keywords. 8 of Cups. Whoa, buddy. Spirit. Woof. 8 of Cups. Release what doesn't serve you. Emotionally unfulfilled. Time to let go. It's time to let go. It was a test. Let go. I want to confirm, what are you meant to be transforming here? Soul contract. What are you meant to be transforming? We have solar eclipse. High Priestess. Your subconscious mind. Interesting. Bridge between worlds, divine feminine, sacred wisdom, inner knowing, diving deep, illumination, higher self, mysteries, intuition, calm. So you're meant to be learning how to listen to your intuition, not your unconscious programming. Remember, we talked about it. We have solar eclipse. So solar eclipse, I believe the solar eclipse is in August. Big changes are coming. So there's kind of a need for you to make this decision before the solar eclipse. Find your inner truth, catalyst for change, transformation, cosmic trigger, cosmic trigger. Right? You're meant to be transforming. You're meant to be choosing self right now. Catalyst for change. It happened to show you what you still need to work on. And it says big changes are coming, timing about 6 months. In 6 months, you might not even recognize yourself, right? This may be what you need to fully surrender and to end those emotional patterns. And we have 10 of Swords here. It's meant to teach you a lesson. This ending is meant to teach you a lesson, or whatever's happening here is meant to teach you a lesson. It says changing the outcome, but I want to say like feeling like you can't change the outcome without a transformation here. Like the outcome's not going to change. It's going to stay stuck. You're meant to learn lessons from it. It's meant to be a catalyst for you to change and grow. Learn the lesson. Feminine energy. Feminine energy. Strength. Reevaluate your plans. Spirit wants you to reevaluate your plans. Gaining wisdom. New perspectives, having a new perspective of it, having patience, right? And patience decreasing, I think, anyway, the time you spend with this person. But it's not about having patience and accepting what's happening here. It's about reevaluating your direction, right? Looking at it as a new perspective. I still need to work on self. Maybe I'm not truly in feminine energy the way I thought I was. I need to work on my masculine energy. That came out. Gaining wisdom, right? And you can't, if you are a feminine, if you do feel like you have a mission to help people, how can you help people if you don't learn the lessons, right? This was meant to show you and teach you important lessons of yourself that you can transmute to then help other people heal, right? On the bottom, we have strength. So part of your soul contract is choosing self, standing in your strength, right? Trusting in your inner knowing. Compassion, confidence, courage, self-belief, infinite potential, personal power, wisdom. It's all meant to teach you something, right? I'm seeing the turtle. The turtle stores experiences underneath its shell, and then at a later date, it uses the lessons it learns to help others, right? There's a reason I talk about my experience growing up. There's a reason I talk about my experiences in past connections. There's a reason I talk about my experience with friendships and now my experience with Brie. There's a reason I talk about it. And for a lot of you, I feel like you're meant to align once you are in wholeness. You are meant to align with a true soul connection. And I'm talking friendship. I'm not talking love. Well, maybe it is love. But there's a reason, and there's a reason some of you were inspired by it, and some of you were triggered by it. You're meant to, I just knocked that 10 of Swords, no? What was that? Oh, the waning moon card. Anyway, you're meant to transmute these lessons to then help others, is what I'm seeing for you. So how can you do that if you're still... Anyway. All right, so I want to see what's blocking you when it comes to this. I'm going to leave these cards here though. Let's just see what's blocking you and what you need to focus on, what you need to bring back into balance. Death, internal change. It's meant to change something. You clear and purge. You're meant to be clearing and purging unhealed energy, clearing and purging what no longer aligns with you, right? Making space. Transform, emerging, metamorphosis, rebirth, regenerate, internal change. This is meant to shift something within you internally. I hear a mourning dove. So what is currently blocking you? What is currently blocking you? One more. Yeah, we have the Queen of Cups as a blockage, which means you're overgiving. The Tower, what's blocking you? Delaying the inevitable, right? This is a cycle. It's not meant to turn into union or commitment. It's a cycle that's meant to come to an end. Resisting change, delaying the inevitable, right? I'm seeing that Tower where she's hugging the Tower, trying to keep it together, but it wants to fall. It's why it doesn't feel in alignment with you, because it's not in alignment with you. The Tower for what's blocking you. Resisting change, delaying the inevitable, right? That's what's blocking you right now. You're delaying the inevitable. We have the Four of Cups, right? So this could be blocking you from other experiences, right? Typically the Four of Cups, it's a hand coming out of the sky, but you're so focused on these other cups that you don't see it, right? So it could be pointing towards wounds of being hurt and rejected in the past. For what's blocking you, dissatisfaction, missed opportunities. Like it feels like reluctant. It's like you're reluctant to let go. You're delaying the inevitable because maybe you feel like there isn't anybody else out there for you. But again, on that Four of Cups, that person is so focused on the Three Cups that they can't even see the beautiful cup of love that Spirit's trying to send in, right? What if Spirit wants to align you with a soul friend, for example? Four of Cups is a blockage, right? You're meant to be choosing things that make you happy and feel fulfilled, which is not this right now. We have Two of Cups, codependency. Not being able to be vulnerable, miscommunications, and energetic imbalance, like it's just not in flow. Caretaking, enabling, we talked about it. Clinging, seeking approval, codependency, blocking you. Wounded feminine energy, I'm hearing. Wheel of Fortune, it's beyond your control. What did I say? The wheel is stuck, right? You're meant to be focusing on things you can control. Challenges, external forces, upheaval, karmic lessons. Like, again, there's this, you're trying to control the outcome in some way, right? By holding on to it. But Spirit's saying it's not aligned with you. This was meant to show you that there's still adjustments that are needed here, right? And we have the Queen of Cups, which is like that overgiving energy. Fostering codependency. It says gullible. Wallowing, imbalanced. It's imbalanced. The Queen of Cups in the upright would never... Strong emotional boundaries would never empty her cup and overgive and drain it into somebody else, right? The Queen of Cups gives from an overflowing cup and doesn't empty her cup. It's no wonder you probably become resentful, right? I always say that when we give and give and give, or when we don't talk about what's truly bothering us because maybe we're not in a safe environment to do so, we end up becoming bitter and resentful. Knight of Coins, it's stuck and stagnant. Feeling stuck, not taking responsibility for why it's stuck, right? Because again, we enable it by staying there. Bored, unstable, impatient, Like things feel stuck and stagnant. And when things feel stuck and stagnant, the only way to break up that energy is a tower, right? I always say that. Two of Swords, Knight of Pentacles in reverse, stuck, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, stuck and stagnant. The only way to break up that energy, tower. So let's see what Spirit wants you to focus on right now. Because right now it feels like you are kind of putting up with surface level connection. Nine of Wands, courage, boundaries, grit, determination, faith, endurance, holding the line, persistence, boundaries. It's time to put up boundaries. What should you be focusing on right now? Actually, what action should you take towards this? That's what I want to see. What action should you take towards this? We have resisting surrender. Stop resisting surrender. Spirit wants you to surrender it. Stop resisting. Right? When something's trying to leave our life. Seven of Cups. Clarity of thought. Get clarity, right, about this. Focus, action, claircognizance, seeing a clear choice, concrete, be decisive. Spirit wants you to make a decision, right? Waiting for this one. I am proud of myself and who I am. If you wait for this one, you might be waiting a while, right? Before that tower comes. Spirit wants you to stop resisting, surrendering this, right? Surrender, epiphany, release, let go, allow, yield. See it from a different angle. Because a lot of people will hold on thinking it's from attachment, right? Or fear of abandonment. Look at it from a different perspective. If it's, I'll release it so I can focus on myself. And if it's meant to be, it'll come back around. We have vernal equinox, dark to light, timing, a few days. It's time, act now, fresh start, awakening, spring into action. A few days. You're being called to protect your energy, to make a decision, to surrender it. One more. The World, end of a chapter, sign. Achievement, success, sense of belonging, accomplishment, whatever. But end of a chapter, end this chapter, end it. Right? Look at it logically. Logically, I am done with mixed emotions and mixed signals. Reflect, put a boundary up, and then reflect. Why was I still giving to that? What within me needs to heal? Right? End the chapter so that you can have a new beginning. Focus on your fulfillment and your happiness and your wholeness. End the chapter. End the cycle, right? We have the Empress right here. All right, so what should you focus on? What should you focus on? Find the light within. Hibernate. Spirit wants you to go within again, right? Thirst for knowledge. So maybe there's a course you've been thinking about taking that you've been putting on hold, waiting to see how this person would, whatever. Emotional mastery, King of Cups. Balance your head and your heart. Work on your, whatever triggers you emotionally, right? Especially within this connection, like reflect about what was being triggered. Nine of Coins, single. Self-mastery. self-sufficient, on your own, taking it easy, maturing. That's part of your soul contract. Focusing on your fulfillment, focusing on your freedom. And then 9 of Coins. If something doesn't add value to your life, it doesn't belong in your life. 9 of Coins. You're really meant to be learning about yourself from this, focusing on self. Maybe even, again, if there's a course you were thinking about taking, focus on your emotional balance, heart-centered, being kind-hearted, being understanding, highly intuitive, self-aware, diplomatic, artistic, psychic, feeling. Maybe you're meant to be a healer, but how can you help heal others if you don't learn the lessons and walk through the fire, right? And transmute that energy. Emotional mastery. Queen of Wands. Glow up energy, glow up. Confident, energetic, independent, right? Focusing on your spirit, your connection with spirit. Focusing on your creativity, standing in your power. This is time, it's time for your glow up. Again, maybe you felt like you were glowing, but then hit a plateau. Any other advice for this collective? Advice for this collective? Advice for this collective. We have the Lovers. Divine connection. But I always say that lover, it's in reverse. Lovers is not about just the love that we feel. 8 of Cups. It's time to walk away. Walking towards your fulfillment. But I always say the Lovers is not just about a connection with someone else. It's about the growth it triggers within us. Again, right now, Spirit wants you to choose self over this magnetic attraction. Choose connections that empower you, that don't bring you down and keep you stuck, right? Discord, disharmony, trust issues, disconnected, imbalance, right? Spirit's saying that's logically, that's where it's at right now. You are misaligned with this person and you need to choose self. Misaligned values, right? It's time to choose self right now. That much is clear. I want to get you. It's funny, I was gonna do a soul tribe reading. I might still, but for some reason I'm very tempted to get you one of these moon cards that are sitting here. The Dark Moon Oracle. It's by the same person who makes all those other moon decks. I was gonna do a soul tribe reading, but I feel called to get you one. So let's see what advice you need about this. We have Scattered, 15, Devil energy. I gotta look at that. And we have Achievement, 45. So let's look at this. Like this could be keeping you from your achievement, from your ambition, right? Soul contract. Enjoy the ride. Study now. Remember your advice. Page of Swords, I said education. See the bigger picture. Balance your mindset. That was also your advice. Achievement. This is the rebirth suit. This card represents the energy of when the dark moon slips from Sagittarius ahead of the new moon in Capricorn. There is beauty and grace to be gained on your climb towards achievement. Look at this. The rebirth of your power will now come from being really smart and strategic. I said, look at it logically. Rather than crossing your fingers and hoping everything will be okay, on a deeper note, think about your life's philosophies. Are you committed to them, and are your actions aligned with them? This card suggests that you can achieve whatever you want to, but you need to show up and do the work. Whatever you're working towards, be sure it's aligned with your principles. And there's something not in alignment right now with this, right? Knuckling down now will help you achieve whatever it is you want to create in your life. Finding that balance between enjoying the present and thinking about what you want to create is the key to unlocking your power. As they say, choose your hard. It's reminding me of something Brie sent to me, which is like, it was an illustration or an animation where somebody had a choice to make, and they could either choose the difficult path, which was up the mountain, or they could choose the easy path, which was like a downhill path. And when they chose the easy, comfortable, safe, not really safe, right? Just comfortable, familiar, even if it's not healthy. When they chose to go down, when they went down, they ended up in a circle, lower than they were before, just going around and around in a circle. When they chose the harder choice, choose the hard, choose the one that's harder, right? If you are struggling to choose yourself and choose silence, that's the right choice. When they chose the hard choice, yes, the climb up the mountain was hard, but they got to fulfillment at the top, whereas the easy road led to them being stuck in a cycle. Choose the hard. It's hard to stop just hoping for the best and to start doing the work for what you want, but it's even harder to not do the work and regret it later. This isn't a dire warning. It's just a reminder that while optimism is good, don't ignore reality. Exactly. A little bit of hard work will go a long way now. And we have 15. Scattered. Okay. Hang on, I need to read that. Okay, I'm going to take it. Scattered. Your biggest enemy now is being scattered, wishy-washy, or overly changeable. Your thoughts are like pages blowing around in the wind as you fight to stay grounded amidst chaotic energy. Have you been flip-flopping about what you want? No one is saying you have to be strict and stern with yourself or mentally inflexible, but you do need to take some time to get clear about what you actually want. What are your current goals, and what do you have to do to achieve them? Use this card as a sign to literally pick up a pen and write them down. Doing so will help shift your mindset, which is what you need to do right now to get what you want. Imagine you're the smartest person you know. What would your next move be as you inch towards your dream? If you need to talk things through with someone, this is a sign to do it sooner rather than later. Once you've had the conversation, or even an exchange of messages, you'll have a better idea of where you stand and thus what to do next. Create a wish list or vision board. Listen to what others are saying. Research what you're wrestling with. Recognize that a sound mind leads to a sound body and vice versa. And then underneath, I have to read it because we have limerence. So it says, put yourself first, embrace vulnerability, be compassionate towards yourself and others. Don't be too attached to something outside of you. This card can come up when your feelings are overwhelming, crashing over you like waves. We all need to feel our emotions. That's the only healthy way to be. But right now you could be drowning in them. Limerence is characterized by an intense longing, usually for someone or something that you can't have. If you want to transform your current situation, you need to go deep and deal with your emotions and your wounding, right? Why is it that your soul, you keep orbiting this person? It has something to do with codependency. Ask yourself if you've developed an unhealthy attachment. There's a point where being healthily enthusiastic about someone or someone else tips into obsession. And remember, in your last row, you had trying to keep a positive mindset. If this card comes up, it's time to have a word with yourself. The dark moon calls on us to release, and right now you need to let go of anything that has too tight of a hold on you. Once you make the first move towards release, you may find whatever you're worried about starts to fall away too. All right, I have another deck I'm feeling called to get you for advice. It's a deck I never use, but I'm gonna grab it. All right, I never use this deck. Advice for you. Advice for you. Not all endings are sad. Stay hopeful because you will have your happy ending. So not all endings are sad. Sometimes they lead us to something better or back to self, right? Advice for you. Advice for you. Trust the feeling. I said it. Your intuition is strong right now. Something doesn't feel right. Trust in that. No one else can tell you what's right or wrong for you. Exactly. You know. Trust that feeling inside. Advice for you. Okay, so we do have obsession on the bottom. Is it love, obsession, attachment? Ask yourself if you can slow down and not allow thoughts of them to consume you. There's something about being codependently attached right out. Sit it out. Take time, take no part in that drama. If they want to be a part of your life, they will make an effort to be in it. Your inaction will cause a reaction. But whatever. This is not about playing games. This isn't about playing games. Maybe that's why I don't grab this deck. It's not about playing games. We have friendship. Focus on building friendship. What did I say? I said I was seeing that video, that whatever it was, podcast, whatever it was that I saw, where they were talking about how having a friend or having friendship will help you to have a healthier love life. Get to know them for who they are without letting attraction get the better of you. Anyway, friendship. So that's another thing. What if that's part of your soul contract, right? What if you're missing out on a beautiful friendship that you're meant to align with while you're detaching and focusing on self? Stay grounded. Take a step back and be fully conscious about what's going on to align with your soul and your true self. And I don't think you're grounded right now. We have what a mess. It was funny because I grabbed the messy oracle. This situation has gotten messy. Outside influences. But love isn't always clean and pretty. Love will rise again and become stronger. But right now, this situation, there needs to be a break. Whoops. That was goddess vibes that fell on the floor. Speak up. So this is talking about how neither one of you are expressing your true feelings. How can you have safety if neither one of you can be vulnerable? And if you're vulnerable and they withdraw, again, that's a sign that you need a boundary there. And we have a gift. You may be surprised by someone's act of kindness. It's making me think of that Four of Cups, right? You may be so focused on them that Spirit might be trying to align you with a friend or with some kind of cosmic gift, I'm hearing. Be open to small gestures that come your way. Embrace the gift. We have don't be afraid to be different. Allow your inner goddess to radiate. After you meet her, you'll never be the same. Honor your divine feminine. Exactly. Once you tap in to your divine energy, your authentic self, your wholeness, it changes you. You're being called to tap into your balanced energy is what I'm hearing. All right. That's interesting. I pulled over the top card. What exactly do you love about this situation? If you're being treated in a way that feels disrespectful, ask yourself what part of you allows this behavior to continue. All right, I'm going to go, my friends. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.